Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lewis Bryant with my prison stories, life after the big house. Today, I'm gonna address a subject that I see is big on a lot of these YouTube prison channels, which is dealing with the paperwork. And dealing with the paperwork issue, like I said, 17 years of my time was done in the federal system. So, state, I really don't know how they do it in the states. Like I hear guys talk, they really don't do it in the states. But the federal system, the United States penitentiaries, you're getting your paperwork checked. So how that goes is a guy shows up off the bus, it's the obligation of whatever car or whatever gang he's running with to, let him know straight at the gate. You know what I'm saying? You got some cars do 30 days, some cars do 60 days, or gangs. I'm saying cars. I was part of a car, I wasn't part of a gang. So you got X amount of time to get your paperwork. Alright? So, what the paperwork's going to consist of usually is plea agreement, judgment and commitment, docket sheet, and transcripts. Now, sometimes all the transcripts ain't always needed. The transcripts is dependent upon, some circumstances sometimes. You don't always need to get a guy's transcripts, and I'll explain those reasons of why transcripts isn't always needed. If a guy like myself, I didn't have no co-defendants, or some guys are saying slang codies. I didn't have no co-defendants. I was on my case by myself. I had bank robbery on this one, and my first one I had a gun charge. I didn't have no co-defendants. So I had my plea agreement. I had my J&C, which is the judgment and commitment, or actually it really means judgment in a criminal case, but they call it your judgment and commitment, and a docket sheet. Well, for somebody who just pleads guilty to the guidelines, it's called a standard C plea. Alright? So once a standard C plea, all it's going to be is that you're acknowledging that, hey, yes, you did this on this date, that you agree that this is your guidelines, you and your attorney sign it, bam, you go in, you plead guilty, and that's all it's going to say. Alright, now, when there's guys who have special conditions of a plea, or they have a sealed plea agreement, those are the things that's going to raise the concern. Or if they have sealed documents on their docket sheet, that's going to make a motherfucker, press the issue on getting your transcripts, man, because not all the time something that's sealed means somebody told. Sometimes they seal the names of people and things, of witnesses, and maybe even witnesses against you. But another important thing to check on the docket sheet is to see who each motion, what side that the motion was filed by, whether it was either filed by the government or was it filed by you. And another thing that gets guys jammed up is these profit hearings. You got a profit hearing and you got a reverse profit hearing. And one means that, they're calling upon you to ask you questions, and another one means that you're going to give up information. And I can't exactly remember which one means that you are the one giving up the information, so I'm not going to speak on something I'm not absolutely 100% about. Alright, but as I said, usually give a guy 30 to 60 days. Like my car, I ran with Baltimore, okay? And when I first got there, it was usually 30 days, but and sometimes, 30 days is kind of putting the press on people. You know what I'm saying? We're not about trying to want to get rid of a guy, just because he can't get his paperwork in 30 days. The guy might be all right. So one day we had a discussion, like, let's give him, 60 days, because stuff happens, man. People, their people got stuff to do, the mail, All kinds of things can happen. Man may not have nobody out there that can help him, so he has to rely on the Office of the Federal Public Defender to get his paperwork for him. So, we stretched it to 60 days. But when those days are up and you ain't got your paperwork, and I mean, you're going to have people that are going to be seeing that if you were actually trying to get it or not. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to send a letter to your lawyer, or if you're going to make a phone call, you always want to have somebody witness that you're sending these letters out. To just say, oh, I sent it to him, I sent it to him, I sent it to him, they're not responding to me. Nah, you need to get your motherfucking ass a witness to let them know that somebody can vouch for you that, yeah, he sent the letter, I seen him send it. Alright, because all that I sent it, motherfucker expecting somebody just to take your word for it, man. A lot of times I can pretty much tell you they just ain't gonna take your word for it. Alright, so when the time comes, have I had to deal with a situation where there's been guys that their time ran out and their paperwork weren't in? Absolutely. Fortunately, usually them guys, they just go. They're scared when they see 6, 7, 8 motherfuckers grouping up, knowing they get ready to get on their ass when they're giving them the option, like either walk out of here or, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some violence. They usually, they usually just go. Sometimes, man, there's been situations, not with my car, but depending on the circumstances of whether a guy told or the guy, they might have find out the guy has sex offenses, man, they didn't give him that opportunity to walk. They got straight on his ass, either fucked him up, beat him with something, or stabbed him up. Like, it can turn pretty fucking serious pretty quick. But, if you're hot, man, and you stay on that yard, and that paperwork comes in, man, you best just be ready to know that something's about to go down. Like, particularly my car in Baltimore, man, when we approached the guy that was from Baltimore, when he got off the bus, man, we broke him off right there, man. Like, man, we asked him, what size shoe you wear, what size you wear. We're going to get you everything you need. We're not worried about taking a big hit if you don't come back and you come back fucked up. Some people won't give you shit until they find out if you're straight or not. But we always gave a guy, you know what I'm saying, the benefit of the doubt, and looked out for him, I can remember some of my homeboys that I was working in the prison factory, and what they call unicorn, the feds. I was making $500-$600 a month. I was giving guys brand new tennis shoes with the tags and everything still on them that been sitting in my locker because I was buying so many off the commissary, sweat shorts and all that shit. I mean, that shit ain't nothing. That's materialistic things, man. But yeah, we had to run a few motherfuckers up that didn't have their paperwork. But so going back to it, man, if you ain't straight, just make sure you know what you got coming. But yeah, I just wanted to straighten this situation out on, because like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people on these other channels talking about the paperwork issue in the feds, and I got a homeboy in the feds, or I know somebody in the feds. This is what they said. I was in that motherfucker 17 years, and I'm telling you, the paperwork game is absolutely 110% real. So if you ain't, not only the penitentiaries, you got mediums that's rocking like penitentiaries also, man. They're playing by the same rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forget this one guy. He was from California, white guy. And this was on my first incarceration after I left Lewisburg and went to Allenwood. Me and dude was cool. You know what I'm saying? He was on that California shit, but me and him was cool. And like, he really didn't know my background, but somebody put something in his head. It was like, oh man, of my old affiliations, as I talked about in my first video, used to run. He come up to me and he was like, you know, oh man, that's fucked up. Look, man, don't ever say nothing to me no more and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no sweat off my back, man. I gave this motherfucker one of my last cigarettes that we didn't even smoke no more. And we was buying them. I was looking out for this bitch. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't trip about that shit. So I ended up leaving in 2007. He was running around here doing all this fucking faking and shit. Come to find out, his road dog that ran right next to him, word came back on dude that he was the whole time, he motherfucking was a fucking rapist. He motherfucking, his homeboy put that knife right in his motherfucking face, and he deserved every fucking piece of it he got. But you know, those are the type of dudes that are always running around trying to shine the light on somebody else. Those are the main dudes you really gotta look at, man. Because the motherfuckers that always got something to hide, always got something in their closet, be the main ones trying to press an issue on another motherfucker. But anyways, man, I hope you enjoyed my videos, man. I hope you like and subscribe. And once again, man, peace and love. I'll be back at you soon. Salute.